Woo! I am hot and sweaty, but I am ready for action. Well, if anything, that means I'm more ready for the show. It's the Pallazzo Podcast. 2 L's, 2 Z's on Twitter.
Utah.
Everyone's favorite show. At least in my head, it's my favorite show. Tonight, it's just me, no Deary. Deary's taking a nap. He's got to rest up for the big weekend ahead. It's a complicated world, and there's a lot of things going on out there, so give everybody some space if you can. Today, we got a guest, and she is no stranger to the fantasy baseball realm. She writes at Fantrax. She has her own show that she co-hosts called the Rest of Season Rankings, and she's the latest host of the SP Streamer Podcast. Let's give it up for Lauren Auerbach. Welcome to the show, Lauren. Thank you so much for joining us, and do you think it'll be a good show?
I think it'll be a fabulous show, and thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here. I have seen your podcast, and I have to say they always look like they're a fun time. So I'm ready. I'm ready for this, You know,
we try to have fun. We try to talk baseball. We try not to get too caught up in the weeds. I mean, data is cool, and there's a lot of ways you can inform people. We try to find a balance of entertainment and knowledge, and we hope to accomplish that today.
I think we can,
Yes.
Boom, let's do it.
Yeah. Well, I have over-the-head earphones, and you have earbuds, so that means we're different already. I don't know if that's good or bad, but
different's okay.
Yin and yang, that's good, right?
Yep.
Yes, Yancey, entertainment and knowledge. That's what we try to bring to the show here. It's lit. Thank you, Yancey. Yancey always pops in with very kind words, and then he goes away to his cave to listen to the podcast version later. That's what Yancey does. But he always pops in once in a while to say hello. Good to see you, Yancey. Bye.
Hi, Yancey.
He's a podcast guy. He's an audio guy. That's what he does. He loves audio. And you can listen to the audio version anytime you want, folks. This is the live stream version right now, but it's the same thing you're hearing on the podcast form, except you can't see us. So you don't know what Lauren looks like. You don't know what I look like right now, if I smell or not. Actually, I don't think you could tell if I smell even on the live stream.
Unless you smell really badly, then, if you get a little too whiffy, may come across,
Well, there's nobody in here. There's nobody ever in this house. It's always me alone all the time. That's been my life for a while now, but things will change eventually. I know that. Good things are going to come. Thank you for saying we look great on camera, Yancey. You're really, you're really a sweet man.
Yancey,
I just finished playing the drums too. Yeah, Yancey. Keep up, Yancey. Yeah. I called him. Sorry, Yancey. I almost called you Cancy, like Cancer Yancey. I'm so sorry, Yancey. I love you.
Yancey. Yeah. I don't Cancer Yancey. I don't know,
Oh, yeah. If Yancey wasn't a good sport, that would not go over well. But Yancey's a great. Yeah. Oh my. Yes. Oh my. Anyways, I just got done playing the drums. I wanted to get a workout in before the show, Lauren.
Yep.
Actually, look. This will be crazy. I'm going to flip the world. There it is. They're over there. Look at that.
Ooh, nice.
Classy.
Do you play drums every day?
I try to. Yeah, I try to when I can. There it is. I play the bass over there too, so got all kinds of stuff going on over there.
You got a nice little setup there. I like it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. It's like a nice started, music therapy,
It's Yancey is very important. It's funny that he's on, and I just thought of that. He's very important to my story. He really got me kind of re-engaged with music last year. Okay. I was listening to a ton of podcasts, Lauren, and wasn't listening to enough music. I love music. I grew up in music, and I loved playing, and I didn't have any of this stuff before December of last year. This is all new recently. And Yancey kind of got me going with like his musical inspiration online on Twitter, his presence, and he would share songs, and it just got me more motivated. As I got to know him a little bit, he loved to share music, and it's kind of the reason I'm at where I'm at now. So I owe that to him, and he knows that.
Wait, had you played instruments before? Or was
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just hadn't, long time. I had a few bumps along the way. I used to have a drum set. Got rid of it for pills. I used to be addicted to opioids. It's part of my story. So sometimes when you have opioids, they're more important than drum sets, guitars, amplifiers, people you love.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
It's I can only laugh because it's so much better now. So that's the good news.
That's good. It's very good. Yeah.
It is. So that's the long and tall of it. I cherish it now more than ever. That's the point.
No, yeah. That's the takeaway, and that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. When you lose everything, you really cherish just like getting anything back that can bring joy to your life, or even bring like comfort, positive behavioral connections. It's all good stuff. So I think about it like that.
For sure. Yeah. That's a good way to think about it.
This is way too much about me, though. You're the guest on the show. I'm going to shut up.
All right.
So, why don't you tell people about yourself? Because frankly, I mean, I've listened to the ROS, and I think I heard you once on SB Streamer. I don't listen to his show all the time. Apologies. I love you, Michael. You're the best. I love you.
Well, we've only done 3. I've only done 3 shows with Michael.
Okay. Gotta get a couple shout outs there. Sorry, Doug. Have you done the show with Doug, or you don't do the show with Doug?
I have. No, Doug went on to do On the Bump. So he does like kind of like the 5, like the, the early morning streamer stuff. And then I kind of took over Doug's co-hosting thing. But Doug's awesome. I love Doug. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he does a good job for on the Bump for sure.
Doug knows how I feel about him. I don't need to go into that again, but I'll do it anyways. Doug's the best. I love Doug, except that he likes Survivor. Survivor sucks. Do you like Survivor?
I haven't really seen a ton of Survivor. It's okay. I mean, no.
I know why you replaced him. Oh, I know. They want to get a non-Survivor host on the show. That makes more sense.
It was a Survivor test. That was, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's cool. So continue. You were telling a story.
So was I?
Well, you're going to start too.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I'll just do a little background with me in the pods. So I just recently started kind of co-hosting with Michael Simeone over at SB Streamer. And then there we go. And then before that, I've got a podcast with my pal Andrew Seifter, and it's called Rest of Season Rankings. And that is very new. We only have 13 episodes. But basically, it's kind of self-explanatory. We do rest of season rankings for baseball, football, and basketball. And
you're doing all sports. Okay.
Yeah, and then we also
the big three.
Yeah, the big 3. And then we also kind of write, like waiver wire articles and some other stuff. And you can find all of that stuff, our rankings plus, articles at rosrankings.com. And then Andrew and I, wherever podcasts, you get your podcast from, you can find us. But we're very new, so this is all new to me, and I'm just kind of rolling with it. But I'm having a good time.
Wow. Okay. Well, don't be afraid. I know you're not afraid at all. I mean, this is just life. It's another day, another dollar. You're not getting paid for this appearance either, though. So let's make that clear.
Not, and that's okay.
No one gets paid here at all, ever.
Yeah.
So, I want to get that on the record.
No money.
Yes, but you do work at Fantrax as a writer, right?
Yep.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So Eric Cross is my buddy and my tag team partner and the tag team lead that we run together. So
yep, he's a cool guy.
Say something nice about Eric Cross.
Is that it? Okay.
I want you to say something nice about Eric Cross.
Oh, I thought you said I'll tell you something nice about Eric Cross.
Say something nice about Eric Cross.
Eric Cross is probably one of the best kind of prospect analysts that I have come across, and he was very quick. Like right after I started SB Streamer, he got in touch with me, and he's like, "You did a great job. Do you also write? Love to have you, and let's give this a shot." And he's been super great to work with, so it's good fun. Yeah.
Well, I love working with him. He's a good dude. He's a fine person. And I just want people to know that about him. And it's obvious usually most of the time, but for those of you that don't know, can always use a boost. And Eric Cross deserves it. He promotes people too. He pushes people into the stratosphere for new opportunities, like yourself, like Chris Clegg. There's a lot of people that owe him a lot of appreciation for his efforts.
And I have to say that the Fantrax crew has been amazing and great. Like they're all so supportive of like everyone. So it's great.
Well, you don't get that every day either,
No.
Over at RotoFanatic, the show is presented by RotoFanatic.com. We have a wonderful crew of people, sweet people, knowledgeable people, like Mike Carter, who does his closing remarks. He's great. But he also works at Fantrax. So does that make sense that maybe he's the bridge to both worlds? It
could be. Is it the Mike Carter bridge? Is that what it is?
I think that's what we're going with. I think we just came up with that. Let's lock that in right now.
Yeah.
I realize I don't have a lock button. I need a button that emphasizes that we've locked something in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Darn it. I don't have anything good. No, that's okay. I have a siren, but that's annoying. See, that's not fun. Less fun. Yeah.
Oh. You okay there?
I think I just swallowed a bug. That dead bug. Oh god.
The dead bug. It just flew up.
Oh. I don't like bugs. I want that to be clear. I'm not going to deny it. I try to live honestly, as honest as I can.
Okay. I try and save bugs. Whenever I see bugs, I try and like shuffle them out of the house if I can. So I'm one of those.
I'll admit on the air, I have killed bugs before.
Okay. And well, we've all done it, right? I mean, I just try not to if I can. I guess that's my thing.
Why do it if you don't need to, right? I mean, don't make it worse than it already is. They're just trying to live a life out there. I don't kill spiders. I want that to be clear. I think spiders are very important. So they're my friend here in the house. They take care of some of the bugs that I don't want in the house, and it's a natural.
It's a nice ecosystem. Yep.
Yeah. You're listening to Bug Talk here on the Pallazzo Podcast. What's your favorite bug? Call in now, 734. No, I'm just kidding. We do have a phone number. If you want to call my phone number, you could. I could put you on the air if you want to talk. We only did that one time. Mike Curlin called in once. Oh, yeah. It's pretty cool. That was fun.
Nice. Yeah. Should open up the phone lines. Yeah.
Well, what do you love most about baseball? Is there one thing in particular that stands out that, baseball is a fun game, or is it a game that is so consistently itself that you just appreciate that? What is it?
I love the experience of baseball. I love going to a game. It's I think a sport where it's not rushed. You can go with your friends, your loved ones, and you go, you hang out. It's the whole experience. To me, that's what I love. And I've always loved baseball. That is my number one sport. I have to say it's in my heart. It's baseball number one. And it's just fun. I just love it. Yeah. And I also I can get really kind of nerdy with stats, and I really like doing that too. And it's a good sport to do that with. So
that is so fetch.
It certainly is fetch. I would agree with that. You like Jorge Solaire too. I learned that today.
I do like Jorge Solaire. I mean, he's a little streaky, but I do like him. And I like the move to Atlanta. I'm a Braves fan, and I'm still not sure what the Braves were doing. It's like they got a whole new outfield, at the trade deadline, and that's cool. I like the effort there. I think they can still win the NL East. I think anyone can really. That's
they're gonna. No, don't worry. It's done deal. Right? It's a done deal.
Yeah.
I called that yesterday. So
okay, but it's just but even if they make the playoffs, I'm like how far are we gonna get? I love you, but it's like you don't have Acuna this year, and I'm just like I don't know.
And the pitching's, I don't know how they put it together. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But Carlos Marcano wanted to pop in and say, "Hey guys, can't stay long. Parenting, I wanted to say I'm a big fan of Lauren! !
All right. Thanks, Carmen.
That's very nice of you. Oh, no, that's Carlos.
Oh, Carlos.
Did you think that was Car Mayorano?
I thought it was Carmen.
Oh.
No, wait.
Okay, so Car Mayorano works at Roto Fanatic with me. And Deary has made the same. See, look at this. Look at it. Look at this. A car. It almost looks like a carm. It's car.
It does.
Deary did the same thing. It's so funny. Wow. I wish Deary was here for this. He would feel so much better about himself right now.
I'm going to have to come back on when Deary's here,
Oh, you come on whenever you want. Yeah. There's no limited invites here. It's not like everybody gets one invite. If you want to come on anytime, just be like, hey, dude, let's go on the air right now. And be like, okay, if I'm available. Right. Well, I might be playing softball. You never know.
You're a lousy fucking softball player.
I am not. Who said that? I'm okay. I'm solid.
You okay? Solid. You can hold your own. Hold your own.
Yeah. I'm not like a superstar, one of those softball hardcore dudes, but I'm right. I can hit the ball. Yeah. Okay, so baseball's fun. You like the Braves, and we'll talk more about other stuff later in Enrico's Inquisition, where we kind of go into stuff beyond baseball. A little bit of baseball mixed in too, but it's a combination of both worlds in a sense, which is always fun.
Yep.
And we'll talk about boring fantasy players that could win you a league title. Believe it or not, it is possible. Some people don't think that's possible. Yep. And some people might find it disrespectful. It's not disrespectful. It's just some players aren't as flashy as others, and we're trying to actually spotlight them. That'll be the goal there. And we're going to take a couple victory laps. Now, we've done this show before where we did victory laps gone wrong, but this time doing victory laps that we can actually say, you know what, this is what we saw in a player, and as of August 6th, it kind of worked out. I think we can safely say. So we'll see what Lauren says about that. It'll be a lot of fun. Brian says, happy Friday, everybody! Just finally opened a pack of I thought it said cigarettes. A pack of C batteries. Only one small open cut on my knuckle. Man, that plastic is painful.
You can't get through it. It's impossible. You go in with 10 fingers, you come out with 9,
Yep, trust me. We've all done it. It started a long time ago with, I've done it with flashlight openings. There's a lot of stuff. That plastic it's not for children under 12. It's just seriously.
It's not for adults.
It's not for adults. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, you hear the music underneath. That means it's business time here. We're taking care of some business. You like the Flight of the Conchords? You ever listen to those?
I do like the Flight of the Conchords, yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Cool. We're rocking out here. We're trying to do some business here. This is the other business time, though. If you've ever seen the Flight of the Conchords, you have to see it for yourself. I don't want to spoil it for you all. But at any rate, I want to say thank you to everybody who's been following the show. New followers, you guys are awesome. Always a pleasure to connect with new people. So many names that I can't name them all, but just remember that it's Pallazzo Podcast, 2 L's, 2 Z's. You can also email the show, PallazzoPodcast@protonmail.com. If that's your preferred venue or avenue of communication, it's all good. And that's pretty much all the business I have today. It's a simple business session. Nothing complicated. We're working on the trophy. I said that on yesterday's show, which was with Russell Withers, which the podcast version will be out after I do this show. I got to edit it and put it out. I'll edit this show too, and we'll put them all out. And then they'll be in the podcast version. But the live stream versions are always on YouTube. Please sub the channel. We're trying to grow the audience on the YouTube channel. And if you could just sub and hit the notification button, you know how it works. You know how YouTube works. I don't have to explain it to you. Lauren, do you know how YouTube works?
Kind of. I can hold my own in YouTube, you know, like you in softball.
Okay. Yeah, I respect that. All right, well, that's it. I think that's all the old and new business for there. Bye-bye, business. Now,
Bye.
It's time to get into the section we call Leading Off. All right. Boop. Yeah, I love doing that. In Leading Off, we always give you what is known as the catch of the day. And on the catch of the day,
Good. Our first catch of the day.
try to highlight a player we want to talk about. And today, guess what? We're talking about Dansby Swanson. What do you know? Lauren just happens to be a Braves fan, and we're talking about Dansby Swanson. I don't know what the odds are of that happening, but it is happening right now.
Yeah.
So, Lauren,
Well,
I want to tell you something before you tell me your story about Dansby.
Go. Mm-hmm.
I traded Dansby Swanson in my home league, which is a keeper league. 14 team head-to-head cats,
Okay.
10 keepers this year. It rotates between 10 to 8 to 6. Every year it changes.
Okay.
But I traded Dansby Swanson to get Randy Rosarina. But it was not just Swanson. It was Swanson, Ty France, and at the time, Anthony Rizzo, who was a Cub who was terrible, a terrible Cub. He's a great Yankee now. But
He's
at
a
the
great
time,
Yankee.
this was like 6 weeks ago. So what do you think of that trade?
Well, I would say, that's part of the reason I wanted to highlight Dansby is because I also had rostered Dansby in a couple leagues, and I almost had it to hear, like, he's been sitting on my bench for a while, and I was just like, Dansby, this isn't looking good, you know. But since July 1st, he has been on fire, and this may be, I think he's flying under the radar a little bit because Austin Riley is just like balling out right now. But since July 1st, you know, Swanson's slashing 311, 359, 582. He's got 7 home runs, 4 stolen bases. He's got a 270 ISO. And it's just like, you know, I feel like things are kind of finally coming together with him. And, you know, it's something like last season, you know, 2020, 60 games. But I think that was his best overall season. He played in all 60 games. He had 10 homers, 5 stolen bases. And while he had a career worst strikeout rate, he's also been making improvements across the board for the past couple seasons. His ISO's gone up, his hard hit rate and barrel rates and exit velocity has all gone up since 2017. So I think we're starting to see him kind of put everything together finally. And I think that he can be great rest of season. Fingers crossed. But like I said, I was this close to just dumping him. So.
And that's where the big bucks start rolling in.
Very possible that could happen for him. Dansby Swanson has been good basically since I traded him, or just like right before I traded him. So that's the case you just laid out is accurate. I've been keeping tabs on him intently. The guy I didn't want to trade the most of the 3 was Swanson. I was ready to give up Rizzo. Rizzo's 31. He'll be around for a while. And it's OBP league too. He's usually pretty good in OBP. Yeah. Ty France I like a lot. I actually love Ty France. Yeah. But I thought I could expend him to get Rosarina. I kind of wish I had not gotten rid of Dansby, but we'll see if it's a fluke here because he tantalizes and then he stinks. And I don't know if he'll ever hit for great average ever. I think in OPS, I think in OPS, scoring runs, driving in runs, steals, if he could be a a 25, 15, hit 250, 260 maybe, and have an OPS 850 plus, stuff like that. That's a nice player who could score 100 runs.
Yeah, I mean, I think, he's got a good lineup where, he had a better one probably earlier in the season. But, I do like Randy Rosarena, though. He reminds me, he's kind of like a Starling Marte a little bit. And I'm a big Starling Marte fan. But I always.
I love him too. We're buddies. I love Starling.
Don't even get me started on Starling. I love him. But
Please
I love
do.
kind of that speed and that pop, and he's got the average. And he's someone, it's like during the trade deadline, Andrew and I were talking about this. It's like wherever he goes, he's just like literally going to hit the ground running, and he's going to be amazing, and he's going to be an asset for whatever team has him. And I'm a big Marte fan.
I love Starling. I drafted him so much in the preseason. I have him in a lot of leagues. Me and Eric Cross drafted him as well in our tag team league. We were bummed out by the injury that slowed it down. Yep. He was out for a bit there, all of May basically, but came back in June after the rib injury, and he's been fantastic. He steals 3 bases in a game recently with the Athletics now. Crazy. It's a lot of fun.
It's crazy. I know. I actually kind of thought maybe his stolen bases would go down a little bit just because he's like in between Canha and Matt Olson, I think. And so he wasn't leading off like he was, in Miami. So I thought that may affect him, but it hasn't looked like that so far. So.
Nope, it looks like a great trade too.
Genius!
Love it. It's a smart move. I mean, Luzardo, he'll figure his stuff out, but you're getting a guy who's really good right now, and maybe there's no way he'll resign, so just forget that. I was going to actually say that the Athletics will re-sign him. That's funny. That will not happen. But he's going to be a great piece for them right now, and they're making a run. They're hanging tough. Ramon Laureano suspended 80 games today. Huge news.
I was also a big Laureano fan. I love Laureano. The power speed combo, to me, I'm a super sucker for that.
Me too. Who isn't? We all love that, don't we? Come on. Yeah. It's so fun. It's power and speed. It's the best of both worlds. You want to see people steal bases and hit home runs. Those are awesome things to do.
Yep. So I'm a little sad about that, but
You think you'll get over it?
I think maybe one day.
Easy does it. Take your time. Maybe. Don't rush this, okay? I think you should. I don't want you to get hard on yourself and then you beat yourself up over this.
We're gonna get all in your face and point out your faults.
No, we don't want to do that. We want to let it go. Let's let it go. Let it go.
Let it go.
I did do one good thing. I just ripped on myself for that trade, but I'm gonna give myself credit for turning out a trade deadline deal for Laureano. It was actually a straight athletic swap. The guy wanted me to give him Canna for Laureano, and I was out of the playoff hunt. He was in the playoff hunt, but it's an OBP league. In my opinion, Canna very, very much, it's not even an opinion. It's obvious. He's much more valuable in an OBP league. I'm not going to trade him, even if he is older than Ramon Laureano by about 4 years-ish.
Yeah, I actually wrote him up as a possible kind of boring player sort of thing. But like right now, he's been hitting 417 like OBP since he came off the IL. So dude can get on base.
And that's the other thing about Starling Marte. His OBP's been around 400. I know he missed some time, so it might be a little smaller sample size, but it's not that much smaller. It's like it's starting to become a legit, like, wow, if Starling Marte is a 400 OBP player with those kind of steal numbers, he could be a top 20 guy next year, depending on where he goes.
Yeah.
Okay, enough Starling Marte. You guys don't want to hear me and Lauren yak about Starling Marte all day, because we could. We really could. Dansby Swanson next year, is he a top 75 ADP guy?
Top 75? Sure. Yeah. I'm gonna go all in on him. Top 75, but not much higher than that. We're like at the back end. We're gonna say like 74.
Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. I didn't think you meant. Hey, he's gonna be number 23 next year. Watch out, folks! Woohoo!
Yeah.
Although Kyle Tucker was top 30 this year, he's kind of lived up to that. I think he's top 50, 60 in my opinion. I don't know if he's actually lived up to that. I actually quite. If you look at the rankings, they would tell you it depends what you rank. Who ranks who? Use a player meter, a player rater like Razzballs. There's a lot of different ways to look at things, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was just looking at so he's got 21 homers, 11 steals, 276. He's been good. It's not shabby,
Let's see more steals for him to be top 30, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that he could. I think the idea is he could get like maybe 20. Do you think he can do 20 end of season?
Yeah.
It'll be tight.
It'll be tight. But it's possible.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah. No, I like me some Kyle Tucker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody does. He's tantalizing. He's one of those tantalizing players, you know.
I think I would like him a little more maybe if he was a little bit higher in the lineup, you know, but I feel like he's come in very recently. But no. Because then he can take advantage of, you know, his speed and
That's true.
So I don't know.
That's true. I like to call him Mr. Dynamite. He's Mr. Dynamite to me, but that's just my opinion. What do I know? I'm just a guy who's talking fantasy baseball with Lauren Auerbach here live on the Hans Rico Pallazzo Fantasy Baseball Podcast. Pallazzo Podcast at ProtonMail.com. Pallazzo Podcast, 2 L's, 2 Z's on Twitter.
Utah. Give me 2.
I've been trying to use the Instagram a little bit more too. That does exist. I don't use it as much, but I'll post a video reminding you guys that we have a show. So you can check that out as well. And there's a YouTube channel. I've already said it. Sub the YouTube channel. Please, please, please. Sub the YouTube channel.
Sub it.
Thank you. Lauren Auerbach, follow her. That's LK Auerbach. Is the K a middle name thing? Because I typed that a few times and I was like, what is the K? I want to know what
it is. It's a really like wordy handle. And that's because I came to Twitter like really late. But K is my middle name. And it's actually K, like K-A-Y. And so yeah, it's the initial and the word, the name.
Oh, okay. Well, there it is. I did not know that.
You did not know that.
Do you live in the Southeast? Is that why you're an Atlanta fan or no?
No. I live in DC. I'm a Braves fan because I grew up in Arizona, and at the time they didn't have like the Diamondbacks weren't around, so I had like 3 teams that I could be a fan of because I love baseball. Like
TBS,
Cubs, White Sox, or the Braves, and I don't know what it was, but my little Lauren self gravitated towards the Braves. So that's how I became a Braves fan.
I used to live in Maryland, so I spent many a nights Ubering around DC.
Yeah. What part of Maryland?
I lived over in the Annapolis region, just north of Annapolis, in Anne Arundel County.
Anne Arundel County.
Severna Park, Pasadena, all that old area.
Did you grow up in Severna Park?
Oh, hell no. I'm back here. I grew up here in Michigan.
Okay.
Born and raised Michigander, but during that opioid period where I was trying to get my shit together, I had a friend who let me move out there, and I helped him out. I helped take care of his kids, and he let me live there, and I really got my life together out there. And I got to tell you, I lived there for about 15 months, and I loved it. I loved Maryland. Nice. I thought it was a great state. I strongly recommend Maryland. I really do.
It is a good state. Yeah.
Let's go back there. I miss the seafood a lot.
Yeah. I just had some crab cakes last night.
I want boatyard crab cakes.
I know.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I know.
Oh, that sounds so good. God, those were the best I had, in my opinion. And I'm not a crab cake expert, though, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you what's what. What's the best crab cakes you could have ever in the region?
I actually like it from a place in Annapolis. It's this hole-in-the-wall place called Davis's Pub, and it's amazing. It's this small kind of hole-in-the-wall place.
I know that place. I totally know that place.
Yeah. So
don't they have I think they had like a warm pretzel dish, like a pretzel-filled crab thing there.
Crab dippy thing. Yeah. And I'm thinking of going there tomorrow. So I don't, that's funny. Yeah.
It's on the other side of the bridge, the west side of Annapolis over there.
East side. Because they call themselves like it's something like the mid something. East,
maybe I'm thinking of the wrong place.
Oh, okay. But
because the place I'm thinking of is you go over the bridge, over the water, and then you go over by like where that super expensive restaurant. Yeah. It's like, and then you go back beyond the harbor area. So I must be thinking of another place then.
Okay.
I blew it. I thought we had a connection, and I apologize. I blew it.
It's close. I think we're close. We're right there. It's like,
Davis.
Davis Pub.
I spent a lot of time there. I mean, I gave 1 billion Uber rides in Annapolis. A lot of drunk people. This one guy, the guy who owned Acme? You know Acme.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. That guy was intense, man. The people live way up in the Arnold area in the middle of nowhere in the woods up there.
Yeah.
It's strange when you're out there at 3 a.m. and people are really drunk. It's kind of scary. I mean, it's a little scary. But,
yeah.
I survived. I'm here.
That's good. I missed
the area though. It was a fun time.
Funny. You'll have to come out. We'll have to get some crab cakes together.
I'll hold you to that. I'm definitely my friend still lives there, and last year we were supposed to go to Ocean City, but COVID kind of ruined that.
Yeah.
So I will definitely be back there, and I'm going to swing through. We're going to talk baseball, have some crab cakes, and have a laugh.
Yep, definitely.
Yes.
Boom.
All right, look at this. We're making things happen here on the Pallazzo Podcast. Very cool. All right. Well, that's the end of that segment. It's also known as the end of leading off. It's very simple. The next is Enrico's Inquisition. You're listening to the Hey, Enrico Pallazzo Fantasy Baseball Podcast. And before we go into Enrico's Inquisition, I want to make clear that any question could be asked, and I want you to be prepared for that. So if you have something now that you really want to be like, dude, I'm not talking about my favorite color. I'm not talking about the quickest directions to Baltimore from DC. So you just let me know, okay?
I will answer anything. I will try my best to answer everything, but nothing's off limits.
All right. Well, here we go. I mean, this is the 118th episode of this, so who knows what'll happen in Enrico's Inquisition with Lauren Auerbach. Would you prefer to deal with a manipulative person or a callous person?
Wow, this is deep into my psyche.
Alan Trammell or Lou Whitaker?
Oh, I knew you were going to hit me with that.
The 1988 Dodgers or the 2020 Dodgers?
Oh, the 1988, by far. It was the happiest moment of my sports life. That was my first gut moment.
Nelly, get ready for some doozies, because it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show, Enrico's Inquisition.
For those of you that are watching the live stream, I'm not talking there. I am talking, but I'm not. So it's just a period where you kind of sit here for 30 seconds and stare at the camera.
You kind of wiggle around,
Yeah. I made some waving arm, flappable arm movements. That was fun. I like to start with musical taste. So can you tell me about some of your favorite musical artists? Groups, single artists, multi-purpose groups that did music and played football? I don't care, whatever it is.
I am a big yacht rocker.
Oh yes, Christopher Cross, what up? Yeah.
Can't beat him. It's like
so good.
You
good.
You put on any yacht rock, I'm there. It's just like a trap. So I'm a big yacht rocker. I'm a big Fleetwood Mac fan. I listen to a ton of classical music and kind of like jazz, and especially kind of when you're like working and writing articles and stuff. Like I have to have music that doesn't have lyrics because it's too distracting for me. So I also kind of go through a number of kind of chill ambient sort of stuff. I can't tell you any names because it's like off of Spotify. I'm like, yeah, this is good, and they just keep feeding me what I like. So I just keep listening to stuff like that.
People are making good money off that music. It's just like binaural beats, and people listen to that stuff all day. And I know a guy who makes that music. He makes a ton of money doing it because people just listen to it all the time, and it starts adding up. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's just like it can just keep going. It's just more or less it just goes like on a loop.
And it's not that hard to make. You press a couple keys on a synthesizer or something, and it's like, you know what it is. I know what it is.
Yeah.
I when I write a paper, I absolutely use that stuff. I can't. Yeah. I'm with you. That's why
I can't have lyrics in the background. So.
Right. You don't want to have a lyrics and a melody because then it's going to distract you from what you're doing. So.
Because then you get into it.
Yeah. And no one has ever said yacht rock. This is the first time
we've
had somebody who's finally come with some. Someone. We've had people mention Steely Dan, which some people, I guess, consider yacht rock. We can, I'm not going to argue that. I love yacht rock.
It can go. It kind of bumps up, right with yacht rock, Steely Dan. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We already said Christopher Cross, but what else is quintessential yacht rock to you?
I'm a big Doobie Brothers. I can do and some Michael.
Do you listen
McDonald.
to the Sirius XM yacht rock channel? Because I'm telling you, they're on there.
They're on. Are you not a Doobie Brothers fan?
No, I am. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I went down to Georgia last week with my mom, and she had Sirius XM in her car. So we drove down from Michigan. I live in Michigan, by the way, which I mentioned earlier. So we just listened to a ton of it, and I was constantly on the yacht rock station. I'm like, oh, cool, yacht rock station. And Doobie Brothers were played many, many times.
And Christopher Cross. That's good. I do with it Looking Glass, Brandy. I love the song Brandy.
You're a fine girl.
Really, it's just you could really, with me, you can't really go wrong with anything on yacht rock. So.
Oh, this is going to be awesome. On the podcast version of this show, all of that music is going to be playing under this. That's what we do. That's what we do. The whole Enrico's Inquisition segment, we always play the music that you offer. So it's going to be great. I can't wait to download it and make it. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's why the podcast version is slightly better than the live stream, because you get that extra little bonus. So,
little yacht rock bonus.
It's going to be great. I love it. I'm a big fan. I'm not kidding at all. I listen to some post rock, which they call post rock. Which has no lyrics.
Post-rock.
Basically, it's no lyrics, but basically you got guitars, bass, and drums, but there's no lyrics.
Yeah, okay.
So it's just like,
they play, but is it like songs that you know, or is it just like?
Yeah, it's just like it's songs with no lyrics. So basically, like, hey, let's write a song. It's really cool, kind of like jam that goes on for like 5-6 minutes, but there's no lyrics. So I can listen to that stuff too, because it's kind of like it does what that binaural beats and some of the ethereal stuff does. Like an example is Explosions in the Sky. They did the soundtrack they're known for the soundtrack for the movie Friday Night Lights, and then that became a TV show. That kind of music is mixed in. That's what they do. So
I'll have to check them out. I'm gonna check that out. Yeah,
you might find that interesting based on what you told me. So.
I literally just wrote that down. I'm like, post rock.
Yay! Yeah, fire up the post rock channel on Spotify. You might find what you're looking for. That's why we do the show here. It's all about connections.
Yeah.
We're talking with Lauren Auerbach live here in Enrico's Inquisition. Would you rather be stabbed or arrested?
Oh, arrested. I think stabbing is like one of the worst ways to kind of go. Stabbing? Because it's just arrest me all day, over stabbing,
Got that on the record. This is live. Thank you.
Yeah.
Woo.
Utah.
What do you want, Gary? Go away. Sometimes Gary interrupts the show. Yes, it's 2 L's, 2 Z's.
Utah.
Yes, okay.
Give me 2.
Get it out, Gary. Thank you, Gary. Would you rather be on the ocean or a lake?
I'm gonna go. This is tough. I feel like I have Midwestern roots, and it's all like very lake centric.
That's right. Michigan lakes.
I'm gonna go lake. Yeah.
I went to Hilton Head last week, and man, it was very, very crowded. But a lake can be crowded too. People go to the sandbar, right? They all congregate there, and it gets kind of gross.
Depends. Honestly, I tend to be like more landlocked than any kind of like water, right? Like, I'm not like when we go to the beach. It's not like I'm just kind of like hanging out on the sand, like reading or getting a tan or something like that. I'm not, I don't really go in the water.
By the way, what's worse than sand, by the way? Seriously, what is worse than sand? Why have we decided that the beach is a great place to hang out? I had so much sand in me the rest of the day. The next day, I found it in my pockets. It was crazy.
Yeah, it goes everywhere. It never comes out. It's just, yeah.
I don't understand.
I agree with that.
I feel like one day somebody's like, well, let's go to where the water meets the dirt. And everybody followed along, and we just kind of got stuck there. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. Is that a country lyric, where the water meets the dirt? I feel like that is like a country lyric, maybe.
I don't listen to country that much, so I don't know. It could be. I could have accidentally landed on one. I don't know.
Could have been. Okay. Oh.
What do I know? I'm just a silly guy doing a podcast, Lauren. I'm asking you for all the information. Oh, I missed this. From 4 minutes ago. Hall & Oates. Yeah, Hall & Oates.
Oh, yeah. Oh, classic. Yeah.
Good call, Brian. Brian's a loyal Pallazzo pal, one of our favorites. Brian, we love you. You're the best. His son's really good, too. Check out his son on Twitter. What is it, at Snell Season? Is that what it is, Brian? I try to do that from memory off the top of my head. He knows sports. He's a good sports guy. So cool. I'll let people know that. Whoa, that was the wrong button, but whatever. Yeah, cool, the Who. All right, there it is. That's not Hall & Oates, by the way.
It's not Hall & Oates.
That's not
still good.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
We ask this question every time.
Okay.
What's your favorite pitch? Is it the slider, the changeup, or the curveball? Which one do you love the most?
I like the slider. I tend to, and this is also because kind of talking about pitchers, I'm a big sucker for kind of ground ball inducing like pitchers. And so I've got to go with the slider, because that gets the ground balls. So, yeah.
Particular pitcher slider that you've always enjoyed? It could be past, present.
Well, I feel like I've been spoiled here in DC because Scherzer's got a pretty good slider.
Yeah. You guys stole him from us. Thanks a lot.
I know.
Damn it.
But I enjoyed it while he
Go
was
Tigers.
there, you know. Yeah.
I've told the story on the show before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to ruin it for you.
Okay. Yeah.
This is total hearsay.
I haven't heard it, maybe. Okay.
But I've never met a guy who's more reliable than this guy in my life. He's like the most solid dude, would never lie, and you would trust everything he says. He got drafted by the Cubs in the 33rd round. So he was a talented baseball player in his own right. He said one night he was out at the bar and the boys were hanging out and Max Scherzer was there. He goes in. This is back in Detroit days. Mm-hmm. He goes up to Scherzer and he's like, "Hey, how's he doing?" He's like, "What the hell do you want?" I was like, "Oh man, well, could have been having a bad day, you know. Maybe he lost. I bet if he lost that night, he would have been pissed the whole night. He seems like the kind of guy who wouldn't take it well."
Oh no, it's like Mad Max, and his eyes go crazy, you know, and it's just Don't get him angry. Don't piss him off, you know.
No.
No.
You know, a sad story about Max is, his brother killed himself when he was here in Detroit. It's very sad. Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm not trying to bring down the show. It's just the truth that Mad Max has persevered through that. It was I think it was like 2013 or 14 before he left. It was a very challenging time for him. So he's persevered and he won a World Series. I'm very happy for him. You know, everybody has bad days, Max. Congratulations on your World Series. You did the best you could here, Detroit. If somebody was going to pay me $215 million instead of 144 Illiches, then I'd do the same thing.
Yeah, I think most people would, right?
Yeah. You know, I don't like when fans say, "Oh, I can't believe this." Come on.
Yeah. You don't know what's going on.
Right. And you would take as much money as you could get for yourself, just like we all do every day. We try to get as much money as we can for ourselves every time we get a job or we negotiate.
Yeah, no one ever is like, "Give me less money." Okay. You know, it's just whatever you do, don't give me as much money as I was just making. You know?
Yeah, that doesn't happen. It'd be kind of weird if it did happen, but it'd be refreshing in a way. But I wouldn't advise it. I would not advise it.
Right.
All right, we're in Enrico's Inquisition here with Lauren Auerbach. Follow her on Twitter at LK Auerbach. That's AUERBAC. Auerbach, like Red Auerbach. Is it spelled the same way?
It's spelled exactly the same way.
That's pretty
It's
cool.
funny. Like I used to get asked that a lot as a kid. Like if I was related to Red Auerbach. No one asks me that anymore, but I'm not. But that's my
story.
Most
famous Auerbach I can think of.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know any like kind of other ones, but yeah.
Do you say? By the way, do you say Auerbach? Am I saying back? Am I being Michigan with my voice? Bach.
I say honestly, I say both.
Oh, cool.
I'll say like Auerbach. There are people in my family that actually they swear that it's Arba. And my dad kind of was basically like, we're not going to go by Arba, like we're going to be Auerbachs or Arbachs. Yeah. So I don't really know what the, like my aunt, she, her main name, she went by Arba versus Auerbach, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm Govier and Govier. I've done both. I rotate.
Yeah.
So.
See, there we go. Rotate our last names. We like crab cakes.
I used to say that, my mom said Govier, my dad said Govier, and that's why they got divorced. Hey, that's a bad joke, folks. I love bad jokes. Yeah. We all do. Mm-hmm. They're called dad jokes now. They're not called bad jokes. They're called dad jokes.
Dad
now.
Jokes.
Yeah. Yep. By the way, did you know what a zaddy is?
A zaddy?
Yeah. Have you heard this term?
Is it like a? Can I guess?
Sure. Yeah. Please.
Let me see. A zaddy.
ZADDY.
There's something with some sort of adjective and dad. Like what? Did I just get like left off here? Uh-oh. What just happened?
I hate this trackpad. I hate it. I hate these stupid Mac trackpads. You slide your hand on it and it goes back. It goes. I don't want it to do that. Did you give me the answer? Did you do an answer? Because I missed it.
No.
I'm so sorry.
No, I was like, no, I didn't give an answer.
All right, I didn't miss it.
Sort of daddy and like some sort of, I have no idea what it is.
You're on the right track. You do have an idea, sort of. It's a daddy of some type, yes.
I don't know what the Z is, though.
I don't know either. Apparently, there's a song by Ty Dolla $ign, who's a rapper.
That is.
Well, he's a rapper. I'll tell you that. and he has a song called Zaddy. I don't know if he invented the phrase or if he picked up on it. Either way, there's a recent article in your favorite magazine, Men's Health. You read Men's Health a lot?
On the toilet. Yeah, no. No Men's Health.
Is so
no Men's Health.
Is that fetch? I don't know if that's fetch. That's fetch to me. Anyways, Christopher Maloney, who is known for his Law and Order SVU days.
I love Christopher Maloney.
Oh, okay. So there you go. I don't need to tell you.
I like Maloney.
He's being called a zaddy, who apparently is someone who is a daddy, a little older man who's in great shape and is apparently his butt has been making the rounds because he was doing squats and someone took a picture of his butt. He's like 60 years old and he looks really good. So that's the best description I can give you.
Is it kind of like a cougar?
Yeah, okay. I guess it is.
Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Zaddies and cougars just roaming the streets of DC every night.
Zaddies and cougars. It's like a bizarro zoo or something. It's just like Yeah.
I like that, a bizarro zoo. I've never been to a bizarro zoo, but if I did, I imagine there'd be zaddies and cougars there. Yes.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
That makes sense to me. We're in Enrico's Inquisition with Lauren Auerbach, depends on what day it is, what the mood is.
Yep.
Either way, she is a human being who likes fantasy baseball. Those are facts.
Those are facts.
Okay, good. What's the best ballpark you've ever been to?
Ooh, best ballpark.
Most enjoyable or most impressive? Like, wow, this is cool.
Because as one of my kind of bucket list things is to go to all of the MLB stadiums, right?
Isn't that all ours? Yeah, we all want to do.
Yeah.
I want to do do that too. Yeah,
but I know, I feel like I've been to 10 of them.
Not bad. That's not bad.
And no. I did kind of like PNC.
There it is.
PNC?
Damn it.
PNC?
Come on.
I like PNC Park. What?
People say this a lot. That's all.
Oh,
They say it.
Okay.
No, it's it's that nice. It's that impressive. So if it's that impressive,
nice.
then yeah.
But I also had a good time at and this is kind of like a different question, but I really like Great American Ballpark. That was kind of fun.
Hey, all right.
And
there we go. That's refreshing.
Yeah. I'm not a fan. I'm actually not like a huge fan of the Nats Stadium. I think it's kind of like one of these new. Oh, actually, but the Orioles, like Camden Yards.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one though.
Went to many games there when I lived in Maryland. It was awesome because nobody cared. In 2018, the Orioles were even worse than they are now.
Yep.
And you could go to a game, sit in the best seat possible for nothing.
Yeah, and actually, before COVID, because we try and go kind of like hit up ballparks like every year, like a couple of them each year if we could. And just before COVID, we were supposed to do Cubs, White Sox. You could get like a bunch in like over there, but we couldn't go. So I haven't seen a ballpark in a while. Yeah.
I've been to Wrigley Field, but it was for a show, not a game. So I've actually never seen a game at Wrigley Field.
But that's fun. I like the idea of kind of stadium shows. They'll do stuff like that here.
It was Pearl Jam too.
Yeah,
they love the Cubs. So it was fun.
Yeah, and it's just like I think that's kind of a fun venue to always have like stadium venues. Like and you sit in outfield sort of thing, or you can sit in the stands.
I completely agree. It was a pretty good time. It was cool. We couldn't see anything because we were way back behind home plate, deep in Wrigley Field, which has a terrible view of the stage that was in dead center field, very far away.
Yep.
But we were in there. It happened. And we stayed in Wrigleyville. It was a nice time.
Nice.
For some reason, I'm sounding like this right now. I don't know why.
That's okay.
Because that's Chicago, not Georgia. Have you been to see the Braves live in their home stadium? Like before it was Truist or SunTrust or whatever the hell it is now?
Yeah, before. It's like, I forget what year it was, but it was down there.
Turner Field?
Playoff game. Yeah.
Okay.
But I haven't been to SunTrust or whatever it is now. So
Truist. Welcome to Truist. What an awful name. I think it is. Yeah.
The names are getting like worse and worse,
yeah, it's just something you accept now. It's like, well, this sucks. This is the sucky part of life now that's never going to go back the way it was. Because if somebody offered you $30 million to name your stadium, you'd do it too, just like I would. So I understand.
Right? It's just like, don't give me less money. Give me more money.
I will say this. Yes. It is better, though, than naming them after like racist owners of the past and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's an improvement. I'll take the corporation as long as the corporation's not oppressive either. So that helps.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, a couple more. We'll wrap it up. A Thai food or Indian food, if you had to choose? You could go out for anything, either one.
Thai food. Thai food. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I like
you like it spicy, or are you more middle of the road?
Spicy. Give me all spice. No, I love spicy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Too many cooks.
I have always just enjoyed it. There's a place in Michigan. If you ever go to Ann Arbor, Michigan, you got to go to No Thai. It's called No Thai. No Thai. Okay. But it is Thai food. So
it's
called No Thai, but it is.
I'll go there. Go to No Thai. You come here. I'll take you to Davis Pub.
Oh yeah.
See?
Oh, I forgot I was Google mapping that while we were talking about that. I never finished that, so because I wanted to verify. I know where it is.
We're talking about the same place, yeah.
I can't let it go. That's okay.
I
just want to know where it is.
And I'm curious about if it's not the same, what your place is, if you know.
Yeah, it's on Chester Avenue in Annapolis.
No, that's not. I don't. Wait, Davis, is it? Or your place?
So okay, so I see what's going on here. Okay, we're talking about the same place. I knew it.
Okay.
But what I did is, it is over the bridge, but I was just like I was talking from the north side.
The other way.
It's not east-west either. I thought the bridge was, I was being a moron because the Chesapeake, it's all colored up and like cut up into many different land parts. You never know sometimes if you're east or west. The water's on the east side usually. That's true. Yeah. But we were talking about the same place. We were. I got messed up. Okay. I made a mistake, but we were on the same track. Woohoo!
I love it. Okay.
Yes. That makes me feel better.
I have to go there. I like it.
I can see it right now in my mind's eye. I did a billion Uber rides that people pull up there. It's always very tight in there with the car. There's smaller streets on that side. So.
Yep. And now they've turned it into a streetery, which is good for them because they can get like more business. It's been great during, since it's been warmer out. But yeah, we'll see if they kind of keep that up.
Nice. Have you ever been to the Six Flags outside of Bowie there?
No. I'm aware of what Six Flags you're talking about. I am not a huge Six Flags fan, like a big, there was a time when I was, could do the roller coasters and that, but I feel like that point in my life has passed. Although I would go on some of those, it's like those rickety old school roller coasters. I would totally do that.
Wouldn't like the Cyclone at Coney Island in New York?
Yeah, I think I would do that. Aren't there some like in Ohio or something? It's like isn't there a place like in Ohio or something?
Big time. Cedar Point.
Yeah, Cedar Point. That's what it is. Yeah.
That's the mecca of all. Oh, hell yeah. Growing up in Michigan, you go to Cedar Point every year, every summer. There's school trips even created for it. The end of year school trips, we're all going to Cedar Point. And imagine trying to corral like 300 middle schoolers in 8th grade to Cedar Point. That sounds like hell on earth, frankly. But they did it. I remember I couldn't go. I was not allowed to go for my 8th grade trip.
Oh, really?
I got in trouble. I was a bad boy.
That was your punishment. You can go to Cedar Point.
Yep. Everybody came back and said how much fun it was. Oh man, it was so cool. Dude, we got stoned and we went on the roller coaster. I'm like, you don't even need to get stoned to go on a roller coaster. It's already exciting enough, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People are weird. What can I tell you?
People, they just roll different ways,
They do. All right. There's so many more things I could ask, but we'll leave it there. Let's close this segment, Enrico's Inquisition, with Lauren Auerbach. For love or money?
We were talking about money so much earlier and how we have to have more, but I'm going to go with love. Do people say money? Or what is the breakdown on that answer? I'm
not going to tell you until you lock in your answer. You locking in your answer?
I'm gonna lock in the love, Michael.
Fine choice. Well done. People definitely do say money. It's happened. But overwhelmingly, I'd say 75 to 80% love. So we've done, this is episode 118. We didn't have a guest for every show, but we've probably had, 40 or 50 guests by now. So that's
nice.
Either they're lying because we're on the air. Mm-hmm. They want to look like, I can't pick money. Or we have some good people in the community and there's hope for the future.
Yeah.
I choose to look at that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one I want to focus on.
Okay.
You did a fine job. Congratulations. You passed through Enrico's Inquisition. Not too difficult at all.
Do they get like harder if you come on like again? Do you get like, do you bump it up a little bit?
No, if you come on again, we just never do it again. It's like, all right, we already got to know you. We're moving on from that now. So
okay, we already know you. Like, yeah.
Who cares? Let's talk baseball. Get it over with.
Yeah.
All right. You're listening to Pallazzo Podcast. This is Lauren Auerbach at LK Auerbach, AUERBACH on Twitter. I'm at MJ Govier. GOV is in Victor, IER. That's what I tell people when I'm on the phone. If I call a billing department or something, a GOV is in Victor, not B. It's V.
Oh, V. Now, do you know all of the letters? Like, because I like, you do?
Victor,
like,
Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot. I don't know. That's a good start.
Yeah, that is it. Because I feel like I would just be like E as an elephant or something like that. You know,
sure.
like just, you know. I don't know.
Well, it's not in the military, but.
I don't think I know the actual whatever alphabet that is, you know, code. What is it called?
Is that the Morse? No, it's not Morse
no,
code.
It's not Morse code.
You wouldn't be. The reason I knew a lot of that is my dad, when we were kids, he was a big ham radio guy. Ham radio, you know what that is?
What is it like? Kind of like old timey radio? Like
it's before the internet. Essentially, you had these high powered radios. People had to build antennas in their backyards and shit. It was very intense. It was like a whole thing. But you could contact anybody across the world. Like you could.
Ooh.
So ham radio was a certain frequency. Where you were in your basement, you got an antenna in your backyard, and you're just dialing through this endless frequency trying to find people. And it sounds all weird like it does in Star Wars when they're like flying through space and you hear those weird sounding voices that when they're like on the radios. Right. Yeah, that's where that comes from.
I gotcha. Yeah.
I don't know a lot of people who ever experienced that, but my dad was big into it. So
interesting.
Yeah. In fact, I've never met anyone else who's like, yeah, my dad was huge into ham radio, or my mom was big into.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that.
Or would you be called like a ham head or something like that?
I've never heard that term, but that would have been good, especially as a kid. That would have been great. Like, you're a ham head, Dad.
Yeah, ham head.
Would have been good.
Yeah.
Damn it, a missed opportunity.
I know. I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. All right, well, let's move into the latter part of the show, the fantasy breakdown part of the show, as we like to call it. It is now time for boring fantasy league winners, players that are not flashy, but get the job done and will help you win this year. We got about 59 days in the season, 58 days. The season ends on October 3rd, I believe. So this is still a pretty broad title. You could take this in a lot of directions because boring is subjective, frankly.
Yeah.
But winning is not subjective.
No.
So, why don't you lead us off here, Lauren? Give us the first player who's not exactly the most flashy or exciting or, most well-known player, but someone's going to help you get the stats you need.
I'm going to go with Jorge Polanco. Excuse me, Jorge Polanco, because I feel like every year he's always such a solid ad. You always have to have like a Jorge Polanco on your team because, it's just kind of like this thing like the glue guys, right? Where there's not like one category that he's like significantly kind of like awesome at, but contributes a lot everywhere. These guys are always undervalued. And so I like Jorge Polanco, and he's having a really good season this year. He's healthy now. He's got 18 homers, 64 runs, 57 RBI, and 9 stolen bases to go along with the 273 average. And so he's healthy this year. He's batting third. He's not someone that's really flashy or, you get excited about, but he's not going to hurt you at all. And he's either going to keep you afloat or he's going to help you a little bit too. So
I love it. I love Jorge Polanco. I'm a huge fan. Huge fan. And I should have drafted him more. And I regret it now, but I can't change the future. And I can't change the past. Well, actually, I could maybe change the future. Wait a minute.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I don't know. How does that work,
Change my future? Is that how it works?
Yeah, yeah. You would have to, I feel like, do we need to watch Back to the Future? Is that what we need to do?
No. No. Movies have jumped the shark because movies are referencing movies in movies now about movie travel. No. That's not how it works. You can't you can't make an Avengers movie and then reference Back to the Future for your time travel. That's not how life works. But that's where we are now. So,
and reason will prevail. Reason will prevail.
Hopefully, reason will prevail. That'd be great. That was a great call. Jorge Polanco is a badass, and he's had a really nice stretch, too, recently. I know because I hate to reference that team again, but he's on my home league team, and he's just been 18 home runs, 273 average, almost 10 steals now, 9 steals. That's fantastic. Yeah. And his ADP was, oh God, off the top of my head, I want to say it was like 200-ish, maybe like 210-ish, or maybe a little higher than that. A little higher than that.
Yeah. I think so. And it looks like he's going to have like a career year, this year. So that's always nice to see. I like it when guys kind of like your Jorge Polancos have like a really kind of good year,
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah. It's a good call.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good way to open it up here. Boring players. I kind of take offense to that. I don't think he is a boring player, but this is why this is a fascinating, segment. Is that what they call this?
Yeah.
What about you guys out there? By the way,
yeah,
you guys can join the live chat and you can ask questions to Lauren or myself, or just pop in a comment about what we're talking about right now. Right now, there's people. I literally see a number. There are people watching this right now. You
now, do it. You, I see you. I see you.
Yeah, call him out, Lauren. Thank you.
I see you.
What do you guys think of Jorge Polanco? Yeah.
Come on. Don't be shy.
We like you. We think you're a fine human being.
Come on. Yeah.
All right, it's my turn now. So
okay, yeah. Who you got?
A boring player, but he is boring in a way because people don't respect him. Mm-hmm. That's Omar Narvaez.
Ooh, I like Omar Narvaez. Yep.
It's a rock solid dude. For some reason, he doesn't get enough respect. He's at 287 right now. Mm-hmm. He's a catcher, so of course he doesn't play every day.
Uh-oh. You did the swipe thing again. You're leaving me out here by myself.
God, I hate this stupid trackpad.
I was like, you're leaving me out here by myself.
Why is this track? I got to keep my hands up here. I cannot. This happened twice in one show. It never happens. I'm sorry, Lauren. Okay, let's reset here. For those of you on the podcast version, I booted myself twice on this show. That's why that happened.
That is bullshit.
Yeah, it is bullshit. I agree. I don't like it. Anywho, I was talking about Omar Narvaez. Now, Omar, my point was catchers don't play every day anymore. If they play 6 days in a week, that's amazing, right?
Right.
Yeah, so you're not going to expect that. But, oh, come on, Jaybird. You can't. Jaybird wants to know, will the Braves win the NL East? Asking for a friend.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
We've already discussed this, but yes, they will.
Harper bomb, Phillies to take over the East lead. What? You just said. So I know that Jaybird's a Michigander, but he likes the Braves and he likes the Tigers. So
okay.
But he doesn't like the Phillies, so I'm not sure what he's trying to imply here.
Is he trying to stir some trouble up? Is he trying to stir pot here?
He could speak for himself. So yeah. Sure. Let us know, Jaybird. Tell us the truth. But yep. Lauren did hit this earlier. She said, I agreed with her. The Braves will win the NL East.
I think they will. Yeah. So Narvaez, he's awesome. And he's the catcher who brings the average, which is always a good thing, Yes.
Mm-hmm. I love that about him. He's got 9 home runs. That's, it's fine. If he ends up having a 15-homer season, that's nice. So thank you, Jay Bird. Harper just hit a home run. Woohoo! Yay!
Okay. All right.
Good for him. That's wonderful.
Now? Yeah, I feel like he's been a little bit low this season.
Yeah. Oh, he is. He's hitting for a good average this year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the bombs are not there. They are up on the Mets 4-1 tonight in the 8th. Thank you for live updates from Jay Bird.
Oh, look at
those of you listening to the podcast version on a Saturday afternoon, this is old news. There's probably a new game that has started, in fact. But this is the live stream, so thank you, Jay Bird. Anyways, Omar Narvaez is great. He's undervalued. He's underappreciated. I don't know why he's not owned enough or rostered enough. He's 55% rostered in Yahoo leagues, and he's got a 377 OBP, guys. That's fantastic. I know he gets off days because he's a catcher. He's got 258 at bats, so it's a little bit of a lower number. But if I ranked the catchers right now from at bats, I would probably find him to be in the upper echelon because that's just what catchers do now. They just don't play a lot anymore, right?
They don't. Yeah, it's like they're splitting time now, like more time than they have. It's just kind of the way how it's just what the position is doing right now. And I think in real life baseball it makes sense, right? But for fantasy it's a little trickier,
Well, we do the show on Monday. It's called At the Trainer's Table with Dr. David Meyer, and he talked about load management is a real thing now. Load management, baseball people.
Basketball.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not. And Jeff McNeil was the prime example recently when he had leg muscle fatigue, and it looked like he might go in the IL, and then all of a sudden he was just back playing. He just load managed. That's what happened.
Yeah.
So catchers are all being load managed now because they know that it'll extend their careers. It'll keep them fresher if they're trying to make the postseason. And the Brewers are going to need Omar Narvaez in the postseason.
Oh, yeah.
All right, why don't you give me another one? He's boring, but Omar, I love you. If you ever want to come on the show and talk, I would love. Don't take offense to my boring moniker here. I think you're a fantastic dude. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think the overall point of this is that these guys contribute and they're solid and they're good pieces to have on your team, even though we're calling them boring, right? We'll spin it that way, right?
You're good, very good. Well done, well done.
And so for me, and this is. I feel like it's a little cheatery because this year he's playing pretty well, but typically I feel like Chris Taylor kind of comes in. Like you never are like super excited to draft kind of like Chris Taylor.
This is a great one.
It's just like Chris Taylor, and it's like, he's like this super utility guy, but it's just like, no, like, he gives you some power, he gives you some steals, he'll give you the average, he gives you all these multiple positions. And he's just been playing really well this year. I do kind of wonder though, for this season, do you think with like Trey Turner and stuff, there's going to be like a lineup squeeze or a crunch where it can't be like Chris Taylor and AJ Pollock are playing so well, but I feel like, I don't know if there's a squeeze one of them would go, even though maybe it should be Cody Bellinger. But with Chris Taylor, it's like he's always so great because he's in that Dodger lineup. So you're gonna get that run production. And he's just always just like super solid all the way around. But he's not someone that you're like, yeah, like I'm getting Chris Taylor this year, sort of thing.
Because I want to fit in.
Yeah, well, that's true. I think Bellinger just wants to fit in right now, but he is an eyesore of all eyesores.
I know.
Brian says, so true with Taylor, by the way. Triple exclamation point. Well done.
All right. So true.
You nailed it. Chris Taylor, I didn't draft him anywhere. I never do. I owe him an apology, and I only hurt myself by not drafting him. This guy was reliable, and he's been really, really solid the last really couple of years now. It's not just this. This year's fantastic, but last year he was offering quality stats in the short season, and then the year before he was showing that he could hit some for some pop here and there, give you some steals, keep the average solid, and score runs in a lineup that is outstanding. So great call.
Yeah, it's like he had his 2017, which was like his 21 homers, 17 stolen base, like what is it, 288 average, and it's like he fell off of that in 2018. And then it's like, but still, like in 2019, 12 homers, 8 stolen bases. He's still going to give you like a 260-ish average, So he's not hurting you. And again, with those runs, and I don't know. I feel like he just, he should be rostered more.
Well, he'll be a free. He deserves it, right? He is labeled boring by a lot of people, including me. I take full responsibility for my actions here, Chris Taylor. I'm sorry I underestimated you. He's got a WRC plus 139 this year. That is rock solid. That's good.
Yeah.
Not elite, but it's good. And damn, man, he's gonna be a free agent after this year. So with your point about the roster crunch and the time, Trey Turner is obviously an incredible player, a very, very incredible talent, but he's got the COVID issue too. He's not debuted yet, right? He's still the COVID.
I think he was flying today, but that doesn't. Who knows when he's going to play?
Yeah, that's a good point. But next year, I wonder if they bring Taylor back. But if they do bring him back, that'll show you that they really love his veteran presence, not just the stats he brings, the reliability, consistency. He's 30 years old, so he's been around. He's seen it all. There must be something they like about him beyond what he provides. The versatility is extreme. The stats are solid. So he must also offer another piece. So I'd be curious to see what they do with him next year, because why would anybody want to leave LA anyways, unless it was to get paid on a higher level, of course. I mean, there's in the NBA example, I know this is a baseball show. Alex Caruso is he's a Laker, and he signed with the Bulls. He got 4 years, $37 million. If he stayed with LA, he wouldn't have got anything near that. So sometimes you go where you can maximize your value.
That is like interesting to watch and see what they end up doing with him. I didn't realize that he's a free agent next year. So
okay, it's my turn now, right? Boring players. Players that will bore you to death, bore you to tears sometimes. I've seen people cry because they're so bored. It's true. I've seen it. I may have experienced it myself. I'm not proud of it. But I'm going to go Jed Lowry. Now, he was left for dead because of the injuries, too. So I'll give him that. This might be someone who was more fun or more flashy and enjoyable. Like, I like Jed Lowry a few years ago, but he was out for so long with his knee and leg issues. But he's back. 260, 12 bombs, 54 ribbies. He had a home run the day before last, and he's been everything that the Mets wished he would have been when he originally signed with the New York Mets, right?
Yep. He's been around for so long.
He has. Yeah.
He's 37.
Good Lord. Is he? I didn't know he was that old.
I realized that.
Holy cow.
Wow.
That makes it even more impressive. Wow, you're right. He is 30. Man, he was a rookie in 2008.
Man.
He's been on Boston, Houston, and Oakland, and the Mets. I remember the Oakland days, but I don't even remember the Boston days. Man, that's
I
wild.
don't remember Boston either.
Wow.
That is kind of crazy. Yeah.
Well, at any rate, he's having a solid season. It's not amazing. His WRC plus is 109, much lower than Taylor's. That's more league average. But he scores runs, and at a middle infielder position where you can slide him in, he's more valuable, I think, sometimes in OBP leagues because he could provide a slightly better OBP. This year's not great. It's 328, but it's not god awful. When you compare guys like other guys that have a 303 or a 310 OBP in the middle infield, you need a guy who can give you a little bit more of a walk percentage, which I think he's actually a little bit under that right now because his career would suggest that he can walk better than he is. At least the last few years. So I think that he's boring and he's old too. That would make sense why he's boring because he's that old. But he is useful. I use him in a draft and hold right now. He's my starting everyday middle infielder because I have injuries too. Francisco Lindor, Gavin Lux, and another middle infielder. So I'm grateful that I have Jed Lowry. He's been saving my butt.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, that's like these guys. It's like they save you. They're not, hurting you. They're contributing. And it's all good, Can I clump two guys together that I think are kind of
you can do whatever. Yeah. You can light your table on fire if you want. You do whatever you want.
It's kind of Avisail Garcia and like Jonathan Scope to me, who I feel like just kind of like I feel like they're kind of similar. Well, I mean, Avisail gives you some speed, a little bit of speed, but these are guys that I think are kind of boring, but they also, it's like if you've got, say, like Jonathan Scope on your team right now, he's has a 287 average, he's got 18 homers, 60 runs, 64 RBI. Now, it's the Tigers, so you may not get like a ton of runs, but the Tigers have been playing so well lately. It's like they're just like, F it. Like,
don't diss my Tigers.
Yeah, like they're just like boom, like they're just like they've been rocking out lately.
Just murdered the Red Sox the other day, like 8-0.
It's just like and he's had at least 20 home runs. Let's see, from like 2016 through like 2019. He's gonna do that this year, and he doesn't kill you with average. So maybe he's got a 262, career average, but to me, he's like someone that is definitely can like help your team. He's not hurting you. He's not flashy. You're not going to get speed, but you've got kind of like solid 4 categories there, I think, end of season.
Yep. That's a great call. We already talked about the annual Jonathan Scope hot streak too.
Wait, what's that?
We talk every so often when it happens. The annual Jonathan Scope hot streak does take effect. I think it already happened this year, so it's over now.
Yeah,
it was back in June-ish, July. So, what did you say about? You said the Tigers are amazing. Is that what you said?
I said I was throwing a little Tiger one in your way.
Yeah,
he's good. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. Scope is a guy that they should have traded. Still, I don't know why he's on the roster, but apparently we're like just trying to play out the string. But there was a lot of players available, so. Some of the players got screwed. The players that would have been traded. This happened with the Royals, for example, like Danny Duffy and some of the Royals guys. They wanted to move. Carlos Santana wasn't traded because there was just too many guys available. The market was hot, very hot.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. All right, one more from me. A boring player. Now he's got to be a dude because technically it's dudes in MLB, right?
Yeah.
Do you think there'll ever be a female baseball player in the next 25 years?
Probably not. Like I don't think so. I guess I don't. Do you?
I mean, I think that there are people who could probably do it, and it would take somebody who want to do it and kind of go through some of the rigmarole, and things change fast. But baseball is one of the slowest changing sports that there is. I mean, we have bench coaches now. I think it was last year with the Giants, and then football has coaches, and NBA is on the brink of a. Well, I thought they'd be on the brink of a female head coach this year. But
they've got referees.
Yeah, they got referees. But Becky Hammond still has not been hired. It's really annoying, but I don't know. I guess I would say no too, probably.
Yeah, I don't
you're
think
probably
so.
right. I hadn't really thought about it, frankly. It just kind of popped in my head. What segment is this?
What are we, like the boring player segment? What segment is this? Yeah, I don't know.
What segment is this? Now, this one, by the way, for anybody out there on the live stream who started Sandy Alcantara tonight, I'm really sorry. Something bad happened to him.
Coors.
What happened to him? Oh,
Coors.
Yeah, okay.
He got coerced.
Yeah, it happened.
Absolutely destroyed. It's very sad because I love Sandy Alcantara very much.
Yep, I do too. But I feel like the Marlins have like some sort of cheat code where it's like they've unlocked all these like young dominant pitchers, and it's just like it doesn't matter who they bring up. It's just like boom, amazing.
I agree. They're mastering changeup too on a lot of their pitchers. It's incredible, and you're right.
Okay, yeah.
That's why I'd buy on Luzardo heavy because something good's going to happen. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, if there's one place to go, and it's just like if they kind of are like, yeah, Luzardo. If you're Luzardo, you should be ecstatic.
My dear God. 3 2/3, 10 earned runs.
Ooh.
Oh, 3 home runs for Sandy Alcantara. My boy, my guy. God.
No way.
Yes, it really happened. It's very painful for me right now. He was my dark horse Cy Young. It was a dark horse pick.
Oh, was he? Okay. All right.
That's not going to happen now. He had come into the game with a 3.70 ERA.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be over 4 now after this.
Probably. Yeah. What was it? 3 1/3? Is that what?
3 2/3, 10 earned, 10 hits. Oh,
double digit. Yeah.
That's Coors. That's what happens. Coors will get you.
I know.
We all make mistakes, Sandy, and I'm rooting for you. Hang in there, my friend.
Whoopsie daisy.
It happens.
It does.
Okay. So now I was thinking about Coors. That's why I kind of sidetracked there. I was thinking about John Gray. John Gray, he's become bland because we all gave up on him. Everybody's been down the John Gray road the last 3 to 5 years. We're all waiting for that breakout, but he's pitching at Coors, and we're all like, oh, well, it's never going to happen at Coors. It's never going to happen, but I don't know.
Coors.
He got hurt even this year, and I thought that would derail the season, but it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
He still has a 3.67 ERA, and this is over 110 innings pitched. That's pretty damn good for a guy whose home park is Coors.
Yeah, and he pitches better at Coors, too.
Right, and that was always the thing about him, is that he could actually do that. So he was almost like this anomaly to them. Mm-hmm. And what happened tonight at Coors with Sandy Alcantara does not happen as much. If you look at the stats this season, go down the schedule for Coors games and massive run blowouts, they're using a humidor, and things are changing. They are changing a bit, but I guess you could still get tattooed. It's the dead of summer. It's hot right now, and it's still possible. But at any rate, I think John Gray is. He's kind of boring now because we all abandoned him, but he's sitting over here saying, hey guys, look what I'm doing. I'm giving you what you want. The K9's not quite where I'd want it to be. It's a little bit under, but
he gets the ground balls, which is good. And again, I mean, we shouldn't be surprised, but I was like, okay, I thought that he would have gotten moved. But it's the Rockies, so it's just like, I don't know how the Rockies function.
Coors.
Yeah, but it's just like he's pitched so well. I had him on my list as well, and he had a good outing the other day too. Well, maybe a couple outings ago against the Dodgers.
And 5 innings, 4 Ks, kind of held them in check.
And it's just kind of like, well, what does this dude need to do to get some respect? Because he's really bringing it. So
yeah, I'm glad you agree. That's wonderful.
I'm with you. I like that pick.
Yay! Anybody else you want to mention?
I mean, I can mention people, but
No, you don't have to.
you know what? I will give Chris Bassett some love. I think that
Oh yeah,
the Bassett Hound, like it's just like I don't know. He's one of those guys where you aren't you're not super excited to kind of draft him, but he's the workhorse for Oakland, and he's going to give you innings. And since 2014, he's had an ERA above 4 once, right? So it's just like, and he's got a 19 percent strikeout minus walk rate, and he's just solid, and he's playing really, really well this season. And I like to see it. I like it kind of when guys kind of maybe don't get a ton of respect, but they do really well. And so I'm happy for Bassett this season. I like it.
Fantastic. I targeted him. I was targeting him somewhat, and I should have pushed it even further now, but I'm glad for the shares I have. He's been wonderful. Yeah. Wonderful. And the strikeouts have taken off to a new level this year, which is even better. So
yeah. That's
good for you, Mr. Chris Bassett. We're proud of you here on the Pallazzo Podcast, which is a live stream that we're currently doing. It's also a podcast version with Lauren Auerbach. Follow her on Twitter, LK Auerbach, AUERBACH. I'm at MJ GoVAGO Victory. VOVs and Victor, IER. Of course, Pallazzo Podcast, ProtonMail.com, Pallazzo Podcast on Twitter, 2 L's, 2 Z's.
Utah, give me 2.
It is now time to close it out with our final segment of the show. Now, this one is about victory laps. Now, we've done victory laps gone wrong, like I said earlier in the show, and that was to kind of slow us down a bit. Maybe pause, take note of what we're doing during the season, jumping to conclusions. I was just trying to make ourselves aware, make myself aware too, that, don't go declaring something about a player before the season is done. Now, I know it's still 58 days to go, so you might be saying, hey, Mike, why are you literally doing what you just said not to do? Well, in this case, these should be safe plays. These should be calls, victory laps right now that you can lock in and be like, hey, this is a done deal. I'm not really worried about it now, and I'm happy to announce that this is going to be, who this guy is for the most part this season. So that's kind of the focus of this, and I hope it goes well. Victory! So, having said that, you want me to go first, or you want to go first?
I'll go first. Oh, so all right. So one guy that I was really bullish on, this in the preseason was Marcus Semien. I feel like outside of 2020, he's had at least 10 home runs, 10 stolen bases since 2015. Now, I think kind of a concern with him is just like, well, what Marcus Semien are you going to get? Are you going to get kind of like the 10 to 15 home run Marcus Semien? Are you going to get like the 28 to 30 home run Marcus Semien? But for me, I kind of looked at, since 2017, his strikeout rate has started to improve each season. And then you saw that correlation with his batting average increasing each season, as well as his home runs each season. I kind of threw out 2020 for a lot of, in terms of kind of judging players, because it's just, 60 days, you could get hot. It was a funky season. But I threw 2020 out, and I was like, you know what? Basically, he's going to Toronto. That lineup's going to be killer. He's at the top of it. Now, I will say I didn't expect him to have, what does he have, like 25 home runs at this point. I didn't think that he would be like that great at this point, but he's going to be pushing like a 35 homer season. And he's just been solid. He's been able to bring he's got the run production, and he's been able to bring the batting average. So it's tough not to like him this season. And, I feel like he was a little bit lower, like in people's drafts, but not mine. I liked him.
Well done, great call. I'm going to give it to you.
Victory! All right,
you earned it.
All
Marcus
right.
Semien, I got in a couple leagues, not enough. I tried to because I loved that he was going to be second base eligible too. That was a nice bonus.
Oh right, yep.
But I didn't go with the fervor that you're talking about it. And I regret that because I drafted him a couple times when I thought it was prudent. It wasn't like an anti-Semien thing. In fact, he was my 2020 Dark Horse MVP 2020 because he was top 3 MVP in 2019.
Yep.
With the A's. So I thought, well, this guy's on his way. I mean, he's top 3. He's going to be very close again. He could do it all. And remember, MVP is not a fantasy trophy. It's about defense, too. He got so much better as a defender. But 2020 was not great for him, but it was a stupid-ass season. That just doesn't make any sense. So
it's either really great or really bad for people, Like, like that's what it was in baseball,
Yeah, remember that 2020 season? Was it really great or really bad for you? I don't know. Brian Gray says 80 runs is nice. 80 runs is very nice, Brian. Well said, sir. Well said, my friend. Brian's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. All right. For me, now this is obvious. This might be obvious to some, but you check the tape. And I talked about this guy back in the preseason. All of our episodes are available in perpetuity on YouTube. You can sub the channel right now. Sub it, please. Please tell your friend, just hey, will you do me a favor? Just go sub the Pallazzo Podcast channel. Right now, we could add 100 subs if everybody just did that right now.
Sub it.
Boom.
Sub it. Do it. Sub it.
Sub it.
Sub it.
Sub it.
Sub it.
We also have the episodes on all podcast platforms, whatever you prefer. Apple Podcasts, 5-star rating would be nice. Thank you. Shohei Otani. Now, I have him in a lot of leagues. He's like a ton of leagues, but it still is not turned into victories for or possible titles for me right now because one player does not a season make. Even as amazing as Shohei Otani has been, I frankly did not expect him. Yeah. I should clarify. The hitter Otani is who I believed in wholeheartedly. So
Same.
I don't want to take credit for the pitcher guy because I was much less interested or bullish on him as a pitcher. It was as a hitter and a guy who could steal bases. I thought a 30-30 season was very possible. And I feel good about that because he's been incredible. Yeah. So, but he's been beyond anything. So
it's like amazing. It's just, and it's just, it's like, I was like, part of the reason, like, I'm not always super tuned into kind of like the All-Star game, but I was like, you have to watch to see him, throw and bat. Like, this is just, he's just like off the charts. And it's fun. He's good for baseball too, I think. Yes. So I think I like that, Victory! Yeah, I do like that.
His ADP was like it was like 220. It seriously was anywhere from about 200 to 220, depending on where you were drafting. And people were, I had to jump up. I actually took him in the TGFBI draft up around 170, and I sniped somebody because they were starting to see his spring training. He was heating up his spring training. His ADP started to rise, but we started drafting in January-ish. You could get him easily in the 200s. That's where it was.
Was his pitcher version, was that higher? Was that what was higher on ADP than his batter version?
I'm thinking the NFBC leagues where he's just 1%. So so it's just in NFBC and Fantrax, he's just the same guy. Yahoo is split up, I believe, right? Yeah. So in Yahoo, the pitcher version was definitely lower. I remember that because the pitcher version was taken later on Yahoo leagues that I'm in, a couple of Yahoo leagues.
Okay.
So there it is. Congratulations to me. Yay, woohoo. I'm still not going to win, but I'm really happy that Shohei Otani has shown us who he really was. He was hitting 179 last year, folks. He hit 179. I know it was a short sample size, but that's what was happening.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
Crazy. Yeah.
Give me another one, Lauren. Come on, give it to me. Express yourself.
No, I love this guy. I loved him in the offseason. He unfortunately is now on the IL, but I've seen enough to know that I'm satisfied with my preseason call on him. And that's Pablo Lopez. I'm a huge Pablo Lopez fan. And I liked him because typically what I try to target pitchers who they're going into their third season, but and technically this is his fourth season, but again, 2020. So guys who are kind of going into their third season that have made improvements each year. And each year, he's increased, since 2018, he's increased his strikeout rate. He's decreased his, home runs per 9. He's a ground ball pitcher. His fastball velocities have increased each year. And so to me, he was like prime target. And again, like I'm a big sucker for the ground ball. The guys give you ground balls and give you kind of decent strikeout rates. So to me, Pablo Lopez is like screaming, and so he is on the IL, but he has had a fantastic season up to this point. He's 27.1% K rate, 6.1 walk rate, and he's got a high ground ball rate. And just love me some Pablo, and I don't know what's going to happen to him though rest of the season if they're going to try and shut him down. I know he started throwing, but you're probably not going to get a ton of more value out of him this year, and I think they probably might be wise just to shut him down. But I don't know. What do you think they're going to do with him?
Last night on the Pallazzo Podcast, this very show, Russell Withers was our guest, and he selected Pablo Lopez as someone to cut bait with in redraft leagues. So I don't want to.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. He's and Russell knows what he's doing for the most part. I respect him. So we were talking about players. We're having hard truths conversations. It's time to have an honest conversation with people about players that need to be moved on from. So, I love Pablo Lopez this year. I agree with you. I drafted him several times as well. I'm kind of with you on that.
Yeah.
So, and he provided, solid value.
I like him.
So,
But again, it's all those Marlins pitchers. It's just like that cheat code, like I said, it's just, they've got something going on in the water over there. I don't know,
Well, they know what they're doing with pitchers. Yeah. Some teams know to do that. Them, Cleveland, they just know how to get the most out of pitchers. It's awesome. That means they just know what they're doing. So kudos to them.
Yep, they know their shit. Yep.
I will say, just for fun, the most drafted player I had in my NFBC leagues only was Johan Mankata. Can't really take a victory lap on that one necessarily because he's just kind of been so-so.
I feel like I'm not super high on Johan Mankata, and why do you like him so much? I'm always curious because he was someone that actually it would go like way higher than I would probably rank him. But I'm just kind of like,
I was willing to dismiss last year. So this is this is where you get into the situation where he had COVID last year and people said, oh, that's what affected him. And the year before he had the highest BABIP since World War II. And maybe that was a fluke. But I thought based on the research that he actually was that type of player. He was a high BABIP guy. So he was just going to be that guy.
Yeah.
That's not, he's hitting 256 right now.
He's hitting 256.
So
yeah.
I was wrong about, this is not the I was wrong segment. I'm just letting people know.
No, right. Yeah.
Tell you the truth.
Yep.
That was one player segment only. By the way, go ahead.
I was gonna say, who I was wrong on though? Like I'll just
let's hear it.
I was wrong on Vlad Jr. Not that I thought that he was going to like he was garbage or something like that.
Yeah.
But I basically was like, like let me, I know that you've got all this potential, but I'm just like, you hit the ball hard, but it just never goes over the fence. Like you don't have that launch angle figured out, like that elevation. He was just hitting all these like severe worm burners. And I was just like, once you figure it out, talk to me, sort of thing. And he's definitely figured it out this year, and he's been
because losing up to 40 pounds can make a difference.
That could be it.
Someone who's done that before, it does make a difference.
Yeah. It changes your launch angle.
Yeah, that would be funny. That'd be amazing if we had a breakthrough like that, but I'm not so sure. One other one, I think for the value, it worked out well, and that was I know he got hurt, but Josh Rojas, because he was way down there. I know he started having nice spring training, so his ADP did start to rise, but depending on where I got him, and I had many shares of him, the return has been pretty cool. So it's been nice to, I took him in a DC, a draft and hold, like bottom 10 picks. It's just like I remember he's got some talent. I don't know if he'll get the opportunity this year. And he was given the opportunity, and he was really bad at times early on, but he kind of straightened it out where he provides some power and speed that was making him viable in borderline 12-team leagues too. So
I almost wrote about him recently. Yeah, because is he back from the IL? Is he?
He's close. He was working on it with that pinky of his, that darn pinky. I'll verify that.
I was this close to writing about him because I think that as kind of someone that's undervalued essentially, and it's available for like waiver wire stuff. He's giving you close to a 270 average, and he's got a little bit of pop, a little bit of speed. He's
infield, outfield too.
Yeah. Oh, is he? Okay.
Depending on the league or the format you play in. By the way, he's starting the rehab assignment today, so he did start his rehab today.
Okay.
So he's on his way back.
Nice. Yeah. So he's on his way back, which is good. Do you think that the pinky will affect, because it was dislocated, right? Like, do you think it'll affect any of his.
I asked Dr. David Meyer about this last
and?
week, I think it was, and he said he didn't think it'd be that big a deal. It'd be one thing if it was throwing stuff, could be minor, but he didn't make a big deal about it, and I believe what Mr. David Meyer has to say. So
was Rojas? Was he kind of top of the lineup? Like
at times he's been a leadoff hitter. Okay. Yeah, he has been. He's led off many times.
Nice.
So it'll be
I like that.
He doesn't have eye-popping stats for the season right now. I get that. So, but I just think this is value-based too. So if you get a guy way, way, way late and he gives you any type of return, then it's like, oh, this is a nice bonus.
Yeah. So. And it's also just like, if you think of kind of going forward, I think if you have these kind of casual glances, and I think people are like, there may be something they don't see. And it's just like, dig a little deeper, see how that player's been playing for like the past, couple weeks, month or whatever. And that's where you go. And this is the end of the season. This is when people start tailing off. This is when people are turning their attention to football. This is when you can make savvy, sneaky moves,
Yep.
So depending on where you are, in your standings, just pay attention. And also pay attention if you've got someone really hot at the end of the season, no matter where you are in the standings. That may be a nice person. Like, think of that at the end of the season, and maybe that carries over to next season sometimes. I don't know.
Victory!
Just some words of thought, words of wisdom for me.
Words of thought.
I don't know.
These are my words of thought.
These are my
Well, I think we did it, Lauren. I think we did a show. Can you believe it?
Right. High five. Can we do like a windmill? Like
boom, boom.
Like,
nice job. I enjoyed it. This was cool.
Yeah,
I like talking baseball with you. I think you have potential as a human being.
All right, after 40 years.
Finally!
I've hit I have potential.
Some guy on the internet said I had potential. Oh man, that's funny. No, I enjoyed the conversation. You got the baseball knowledge, you got the laughs, you got the best of everything. So you're kind of my type of person, type of person I'd like to do shows with, because you can kind of roll with everything.
Yeah.
And you don't make it weird or uncomfortable, and I don't try to make people weird or uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
maybe that's me.
Rule of thumb. You don't want to make people weird or uncomfortable.
I don't think you can use rule of thumb anymore. I don't think that's.
Is that we're not we can't use that term anymore? Rule of thumb.
I think it's been 86. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you this. A good rule to live by is have a good time, make the most of it, and just try to listen to people once in a while.
Listening is always good. But yes, Michael, I had a great time. I had so much fun. I would love to come back. We'll have to
absolutely
do this again. Yeah.
We could do an end of season chat. We can do an off season chalk. What's next? Where do we go from here? We can do all kinds of chatter. So Jay Bird says, great show, by the way. Go USA basketball. I don't think anybody are they playing right now? I mean, Japan's Japan. Are they in Japan? Yeah, they're in Japan.
Yeah, they're in Japan. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Have you watched the Olympics at all this year?
A little bit, but not a ton, no.
But technically you have.
Technically I've seen bits. I've seen bits. Bits of sport.
Have you sat down and said, hey, I'm watching the Olympics right now?
I actually did no.
But there it is.
This is what I did want to do. I tried to scroll through and come across sports that you don't really see, like badminton. Like, I enjoy that.
Archery?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just do stuff that you don't normally see. I tried to do that. I made an effort to do that.
Oh, gold medal game right now. Thanks, Jay Bird. Okay, cool. Well, maybe I'll turn that on. That'll be fun.
All right.
I do like basketball. I like the NBA. I like that stuff. So that's kind of my thing.
That's my third
And you
sport.
guys, you guys talk about all three. So
yep. Yeah.
If you guys like basketball, football, and baseball, and people know what they're talking about, you're going to love rest of season rankings.
Oh, thanks for the plug. Yep. You have to check us out. Do rosrankings.com. And we are wherever you get your podcasts, we are there.
Yeah, I popped that in the live chat too. rosrankings.com. Make sure you guys check out the website. Follow Lauren. You guys don't have a show handle, right? You guys?
We don't have a show handle, and we are just figuring out how to do all this stuff.
This is the debate. This is the debate. Everybody, when they start, it's like, should I have a show handle and my own handle? Like, how many things do you want to deal with is the question. And I don't really know the answer to that, frankly. I don't.
Because there are two of us. I mean, do you basically run all of your things? Like the show handles and stuff? Yes.
We have the Pallazzo Podcast, of course. 2 L's, 2 Z's on Twitter, which you can follow the show. So.
Utah.
And then there's
Give me 2.
myself, which is my own personal world, MJ Govier, which I can say whatever I want there. And then Deary's his own guy over there. So I've asked this question to other people. Like, I wonder if maybe I should just not done a Pallazzo Podcast handle and just use my own handle to put out the show stuff. But I like to keep it separate. I don't mind doing it. The way Twitter works, you can switch between accounts super easy. So,
well, the thing is, I am terrible at Twitter, and I do not have like a good Twitter game, and it's tough because I feel like I don't think ever to go onto Twitter, but then I have to go on to promote. So then I look like I have a thing where it just promotes myself, which I don't like that look either. So I have to get it kind of into this habit of, hey, if I have a sports thought, I just need to like shoot it out, sort of thing, you know. And
you got to get over you're not egotistical. You're clearly not. But if you want to market yourself and your stuff, then you want to share your stuff. And if people like that, they'll gravitate to it. That's what I learned. I mean, I post stupid videos and stuff, and I've had plenty of low self-esteem in my life. So I'm like, nobody cares. Who cares? I'll just do this. And if people like it, that's a bonus. But you also can't become like reliant on it. Like, I got to have this. That's a dangerous place to be. I was not a huge Twitter user, but for some reason, fantasy baseball, very heavy on the Twitter usage. If you want to connect with other people and like kind of, it's also a great place to keep up on all the information too.
Yeah, I have been finding that out. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Anyways, do whatever you want. It's your life. I offer a piece of information. You can shove it in my face or you can accept it. I leave that to you.
Thank you.
Just my, yes. Oh, look at me. Oh, anything else you want to tell people before you leave? I mean, rest of season rankings, the SB Streamer podcast.
SB Streamer, I got
ROSRankings.com. We did that.
Fantrax, you can find some baseball stuff.
You wrote an article today, didn't you?
Fantrax, I did.
Or you posted an article today.
Yeah, it got posted today or yesterday. So you can check me out there.
Jorge Solaire's in that article, by the way.
No, this is a new one.
This is a new one.
My latest one. Yes, this is the previous one. Yeah.
Okay. What shows you what I know? Don't listen to anything I say.
Yes. If basically it was an article about if you need like category boosters, like fantasy category boosters. There are a couple guys that I wrote about that.
I saw that one.
Yeah.
But that's not the Jorge Solaire.
That was my latest one. No, the Jorge Solaire was like a hitter surge, like who I think would be good kind of rest of season that is maybe underrated.
Eric Cross, we never should have dropped Jorge Solaire. How many times I got to tell you this? God, it's driving me crazy. Ever since we dropped him, he's hit like 8 or 9 home runs.
Yeah, it can go either way though. Like I was like someone I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed with, but I believe in the stats that I put out, and I think it's a good move for him to go to Atlanta versus Kauffman Stadium. It's got a little bit of maybe home run boost. Maybe we'll see. I have no idea.
Do you think he gets to play enough though?
We'll see. I don't know. And then especially if like Eddie Rosario is coming back, I don't know. But I don't know.
That's what I think about.
Yeah.
Jock Peterson, Eddie Rosario, Jorge Solaire.
I know. And Adam Duvall. I'm like, what's going on down there? What are you guys doing?
Those are all so savvy moves. They got him for nothing, basically. All 3 of those guys.
That is true.
Really well done.
Got him for nothing. Yeah.
Good for you, Alex Anthopoulos.
Yep.
I got it right. Alex Anthopoulos. By the way, someone here on the show who was on the show in the last 2 weeks, they hate Alex Anthopoulos. I can't remember who that was, though.
Did you know, real quickly, as we close, one of my childhood fantasies, since I was a big Braves fan, I always thought at one day I would own the Braves with Elton John, because Elton John is like this is really crazy, is like a huge Atlanta Braves fan, because when he would tour here, it was TBS. So he basically learned the game of baseball through TBS. He became a Braves fan. I know. The power of TBS.
TBS strikes again. Unbelievable.
And so he always talks about this, how he loves the Braves, and it was through TBS. He learned baseball and all that. And I was like, my younger self is like, you know what? I think maybe Elton John and I, maybe we'll run the Braves together.
I did not know that at all. See, I learned something. That's awesome.
And there's still
That's
time.
why we do the show.
Yeah, there you go.
connect with people, learn things. Yeah, it's awesome. I really do enjoy that. This has been great. Lauren Auerbach, make sure you follow her, follow me, follow the Pallazzo Podcast. You can follow Deary, even though he's not here. He's still a human being, and he has thoughts on baseball. He can help you. Yeah. But Lauren's been a lot of fun. Thanks for coming on the show. We'll do it again soon. And until that day, I wish you the best.
Same. Back at you.
Catch you guys on the flip side.
Bye.